Hi, welcome to our channel. Now, as we are discussing about the trigonometry of class 10, so here we have an important concept in the context to your board exam, that is trigonometric identities. Now, what are trigonometric identities? As we have been discussing right throughout the videos of trigonometry, right triangles. Now, as you know, in right triangle, the side opposite the 90 degree is the hypotenuse, and considering the acute angle that we are considering, suppose if we are considering this as the acute angle, there are two acute angles. The angle which we are going to consider, the opposite to this angle, will be considered as perpendicular, and the other side will be considered as the base. Now, in case, since this is the angle theta, we have this side, that is AB, the opposite to the angle theta is considered as the perpendicular, and the other side will be considered as the base. Now see, in this right triangle, if we apply the Pythagoras theorem, then what we will get? AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square. As the theorem says, the square of the hypotenuse equal to sum of the squares of the other two sides. So you will get AB square plus BC square is equal to AC square. Now what we are going to do? We are going to divide all the terms by AC square. So we get BC square by AC square, and this is equal to AC square by AC square. So on the right hand side you get 1, and this is AB by, you can write AB by AC square, plus this you can write BC by AC square, and this is equal to 1. And since considering this triangle, AB is the perpendicular and AC is the hypotenuse, and the ratio of perpendicular and hypotenuse, as you remember the rule, some people have, so sum means sine, people have, so P and H, the perpendicular and hypotenuse, this ratio is known as sine. So this is perpendicular, AB is the perpendicular, and AC is the, this is P and this is the hypotenuse, and the ratio of perpendicular and hypotenuse is sine. And since this is squared, so you have to write sine square theta, plus BC is the base, the ratio of base and hypotenuse, this is base and this is the hypotenuse, the ratio of base and hypotenuse is known as cos, and since this is squared, you can write cos square theta, so is equal to 1. So this is one important identity, sine square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. Similarly, you have 1 plus tan square theta, this is number 1, this is number 2, 1 plus tan square theta is equal to sec square theta, and number 3rd is 1 plus cos square theta is equal to cosec square theta. And this to prove, you have to try yourself, as I am going you to give the hints. Now 1 plus tan square theta, how will you get tan square theta? Tan is the ratio of P by P, that is perpendicular by base. So considering this triangle, which one is the perpendicular? AB is the perpendicular. So AB square, you have to divide by base, base is BC. So that means all the terms has to be divided by BC square. Similarly, for getting cot square theta, cot is the reciprocal of tan. If tan is P by B, then cot will be B by P. So B is BC and P is AB. So that means you have to divide all the terms by perpendicular, that is AB square. So you will get this one. So these are the 3 important identities that we are going to discuss. Now, based on these 3 identities, we have some problems. Especially for board exams, you have questions like proof that. You will be given one proof that, which make it is 2 or 3 marks probably. Now, for that, let us take some examples. It is not possible in a small video to cover up all the things, but I will try. Now, in your exercise 8.4, in your textbook, question number 8.4, very important question is prove that. Suppose I am taking the number 1 question. Your left hand side is given as cosec theta minus cot theta is equal to 1 minus cos theta by 1 plus cos theta. Now, few things you have to keep in mind. You have to know the basic ratios, sine, cos, tan, cot, sec and cosec. Again, the three identities that we have got today in this video. Sine square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. 1 plus tan square theta is equal to sec square theta, and 1 plus cos square theta is equal to cosec square theta. So these are the three identities and the 6 basic ratios, and also the relation sine and cosec, they are reciprocal of each other. Cos and sec, they are the reciprocal of each other. Tan and cot, they are the reciprocal of each other. And tan is also the ratio of sine and cos. Cot is the reciprocal of tan. So that means cot is the ratio of cos and sine. So these things you have to remember before proceeding to this type of question. So very easy questions, no need to think very hard, these are hard. No, these 2 or 3 marks are going to come very easy. Now let us take this left hand side, cosec theta minus cot theta. So this is the left hand side. So what, sorry, I have forgotten one thing, I have forgot to give the square, so never mind. So this square. Now the first and foremost thing, what can you do with cosec and cot? And you have to see the right hand side. So what's the right hand side? Cos. So that means somewhere or around there should be a relation between cos. So as you know, already I have told you, cot is the ratio of cos and sine, whereas cosec is the reciprocal of sine. Let us try like that. And it is not mandatory that in a one go you will get the correct answer. Maybe you have to try the other way also. Sometimes it may questions like that, that tan, or maybe you are given sec, you might write 1 by cos, or maybe sometimes you can keep sec as it is, or sometimes tan can be written as cot can be written as 1 by tan, or you have sometimes you have to write cos by sine. So it is not necessary in the first go that you will get the correct answer. So since you are a beginner, you have to try both the way, or maybe other possibilities. So you have to try, and trying is the hard and fast rule in case of mathematics. So cosec you can write 1 by sine. Cot can be written as cos by sine. I am also not sure that I am going to get the correct answer. So as the denominators are same, so keep the denominator. But this time I am getting confidence. Why? Because there is one square. Now what gives me the confidence here? Your numerator will be 1 minus cos theta square. Then denominator will be sine square theta. Now the identity, the first identity that we have got was sine square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. Now from this, if you want to derive for sine square theta, that means keep sine square theta on the left hand side. So that will give you 1 minus cos square theta. So this is where when I see the square over this sine, so I got the confidence that sine square is 1 minus cos square. That means I am going to get this answer. So there lies the trick. Now 1 minus cos theta whole square. So this can be written as 1 minus cos theta into 1 minus cos theta, and your denominator will be 1 square minus cos square. So this is in the form s square minus b square. So as you know, a square minus b square is a minus b into a plus b. So 1 minus cos theta can be cancelled out. So that means you will get 1 minus cos theta by 1 plus cos theta, which is equal to your right hand side. So hence proved. So these are very easy. As I told you, no need to lose confidence on this. Try whichever way is possible. And sometimes you get questions like this that you cannot get the right hand side from the left hand side. In that case, what you should do? Simplify the left hand side, get a result. If you are not getting the right hand side, no problem. Take the right hand side and try to solve it. Are you getting the same result of both left hand side and right hand side? If you get it, that way is also correct. So let us try more examples. Now, next question that I am going to do for you is one of the very easiest question, but also important. As some questions like this I have seen in both the board exams of various states and CBSE. And don't think much about this A, or somewhere it may be written theta, somewhere it may be A, somewhere some different symbols may be used to confuse. Sometimes you may be given like this type of symbols. No need to know about the symbol, just simply think that this is some angle. Just it. No more thinking about that. Only you need to know about the sine, cos, tan, all this. So take the left hand side. Now for this, as I think you have come through your class 9, and there you have done some sort of rationalization of the denominator. So what we do there, if something is in the form a minus b, then you multiply it with a plus b. If it is in the form a plus b, you multiply it with a minus a. Just recall those things from your yesterday's. Just recall. Now why I am doing this? Because if you do so, you will get 1 square minus sine square. That is 1 minus sine square theta. So that will give you cos square theta. And this is square root. So square will be cancelled out. So because in this two term, 1 by cos, sec is 1 by cos, and tan is sine by cos. So you need the cos in the denominator. So what I am going to multiply, I am thinking of the class 9 rationalization. So that means I have to multiply with 1 plus sine A. So that's why to my students and to everyone I always say, then don't let the topic by your mind, because sometimes we feel like that okay, this year is gone, so what's to remember from this year? So everything counts in the end. So this will give you 1 square minus sine square. 1 square, as you all know, you are so grown up, so I am not extending my lines. And let me keep it for one more line. Now what will happen? Since this is square root, so squares will be cancelled out. So 1 plus sine A square, this square root will cancel out the square, so you will get 1 plus sine A by cos square A, square root is there, the square will get cancelled out, so you will get cos A. Now as per rule, 1 by cos A plus sine A by cos A. So this will give you sec A plus this will give you tan A. So how simple is that? So this is giving you the right hand side. So always keep in mind. So what idea you can bring about, that is up to you. But I always prefer that you keep these 6 ratios and their relationship among these, and the 3 identities that we have discussed today. these things has to be kept in mind. And you can do any sort of question of this type, and this is the very, what you can say, like drinking water with your food, that's all we do. So that's simple. So keep trying. Any problem, keep commenting, and please do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you all. For the next video.